So you want to make the switch from gun to crossbow hunting. 6 steps to make that switch. It's coming up. Hey, it's Steve with STO Wildlife Calls. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome and great to have you. If you're interested in crossbow hunting, you might want to consider subscribing and click the bell notification and you won't miss anything. So let's get into it. There's more and more gun hunters switching to crossbow hunting. Now, both have a stock, a trigger, and a scope. But that's where being the same ends. Your crossbow shoots arrows, not bullets. You don't want to take a 200-yard shot at a deer with your crossbow, but you could with a gun. So if you're taking up crossbow for the first time, follow these steps before heading to the woods. Step 1, your kill range. The kill range I use is no more than 40 yards, and the closer the better. Yes, we have seen on YouTube fellas shooting their crossbows at 100 and 200 yards, but that's at a still target, not a live animal. Shooting these ranges at an animal would not be ethical for me, and I don't suggest that you do it either. You'll want to have some shooting lanes when hunting from your tree stand or your ground blind. Have the shooting lanes free of things that could deflect your arrow, like small trees, brush, and limbs. Clear those shooting lanes past your maximum shooting distance of 40 yards. Now, you might think, hey, after shooting a while, hey, I can shoot further than 40 yards. But let me tell you, things can and will go downhill quick past 40 yards. Remember, your crossbow is lethal to 40 yards. Step 2 is your shot placement. Proper shot placement is a key factor in harvesting your animal or not finding your animal. Shots taken head on, sharp quartering to you, or going straight away are not shots for your crossbow. Yes, maybe you took these shots when gun hunting, but the reason you harvested that animal was that the bullet did a lot of internal damage, even if you missed the spot you aimed at. You don't get that with an arrow. Shots, like I stated above, could lead to a long blood trail in which you might or might not find your animal. I feel your best shot would be a broadside shot. With the broadside shot, you have a better chance of hitting the lungs or the heart. If you take out one or both of the lungs or even the heart, your animal will not be far. Step 3, practice, practice, practice. You may have got your gun out a day or two before the season, took a few shots to make sure the scope was still hitting where it should, and then headed to camp or the woods. This will not be the case with your crossbow. You will want to shoot as much as you can before the season. And if you had to make a string change in season, you will want to check to make sure you're still on the bowl. You want to be as calm as you can when shooting your crossbow. We all know that when an animal is in front of you, things change. You get nervous. Call it buck fever, turkey fever, or whatever fever. This might cause you to pull your shot high, shoot low, left or right, making for a bad arrow hit or a total miss. You want to shoot as much as you can, and here is where shooting out to say 50 yards at practice might help. So your shots are very accurate from 40 yards in. It all comes down to the more you shoot your crossbow, the better you will come to know your crossbow and when that shot comes, you'll be ready. Step 4. Shooting from a tree stand or a ground blind. You'll want to practice shooting from either one. If you will hunt from a tree stand, you will find your crossbow will be harder to handle than a gun was. So by shooting from a tree stand, you will see where you can and cannot put your crossbow, so as not to make noise by hitting your stand. I highly recommend that you have a shooting rail the whole way around your tree stand so as to give you shooting support. Now, if you hunt from a ground blind like I do, you'll want to practice shooting from your ground blind or blinds if you have different sizes of blinds. Shooting from your blinds will help you know each pop-up blind's limits. You don't want to be close to the sides of the blind, as your limbs might come in contact with the blind and either do damage to the blind or worse, to your crossbow limbs. So when shooting from your blind, make sure you have plenty of room around your crossbow and the sides of the blind before pulling that trigger. Step number 5. You need a solid rest period. With all the practice, you had better been using the rest that you'll use in your tree stand or your ground blind. Just a slight movement of your crossbow when pulling the trigger will change the point of impact and make a great shot, a bad shot, and maybe the loss of your animal. I have another video showing the different rests that I have used in the past in my ground blind, along with the new rest I'll be hunting with from my ground blind this year. You can view it here in the YouTube card. If you hunt from a tree stand, make sure you have a shooting reel that goes the whole way around your tree stand, so you can rest your crossbow for your shot. Step 6. Judging distance the best way. Hunting with your crossbow, you want to know the correct distance to your animal. The best and only way that I know is to use a rangefinder. There are many kinds and prices of rangefinders on the market today. Get what you can afford. You can view my rangefinder video here in the YouTube card. I suggest you range some trees, brush, a decoy if you're using one, before your animal shows, and not try to range the animal. By ranging beforehand, you will have less movement from your tree stand or your ground blind. I even use my rangefinder to set up my practice target at different yardage. I feel these steps all are at the top of any new crossbow shooter's list of what you need to know and do when making the change from gun to crossbow. Archery hunting overall is a fun and challenging sport. Just remember, crossbow hunting takes more practice and patience, but is well worth the rewards by harvesting an animal at 40 yards or less. I hope these steps will help you make the change from gun to crossbow a little more easier. And if you've been hunting with a crossbow, maybe one of these steps will help you become a better crossbow shooter. If you want to see more on crossbow hunting, make sure to click the subscribe button below. You'll subscribe, and I'll continue to share my strategy on crossbow hunting. Till the next time, shoot straight, and thanks for watching.